I heard a classic case this morning. A recent study said that the top 3 reasons people break up are infidelity, issues with sex, and arguments over housework. The couple I met this morning brought 2 out of 3 of these issues into divorce court.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Mr. William Sidor and Ariana Sidor. The 2 of you have been married for 2 years. You do not, however, want to be married anymore. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Sidor. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you want a divorce?
Well, Your Honor, I love my wife. I love my children. It's just that for the last couple of years, it just seems like it's just getting worse and worse. We have infidelity in our relationship.
Can you give me an example of something you know she's done with another man?
I was away on a job for a couple months, and when I came home, my oldest child informed me that another man has been in the house. And she did it in front of my wife, and my wife didn't take offense to it, so I knew that my child was honest.
Was telling the truth.
Yes. So I confronted my wife about it, and she blames me for not showing her the attention, not focusing on her, and I understand that, but there's times where you have to be able to differentiate between your work and your family and your responsibility and your obligations, and it just seems like we have a miscommunication there.
Okay, that's a lot more than a miscommunication. Mrs. Sidor, did you cheat on him when he was away at work?
Yes, Your Honor, I did, and I'm not going to lie or hide it.
Were you not getting along before you decided to cheat on him?
No, we weren't. We were actually living more or less like roommates, and like he would be away working, I would be home taking care of the kids, and that would pretty much be it. There was no husband-wife time. We never really had any time to ourselves. Like, we've not had a date night to be husband and wife since before our youngest child was born.
Okay. Now, is this a function of his failure to want to do these things, or is it a function of work, or is your life just, you have so many kids and so much work that you haven't been able to manage it?
I think it's a compilation of several issues. Like, he works a lot, and he's gone for, you know, a long period of time. And when he comes back, he is tired. He really doesn't want, you know, to do nothing except sleep and, you know, relax at home. But, you know, for me, from my understanding as a husband, you know, you do have duties to your wife that you have to take care of too. You know, you have to show her love and that you want to be there for her instead of just being away all the time and coming home and sleeping.
Mm-hmm. And I understand, you know, people need to feel loved and appreciated, and I understand that completely. But sometimes a person gets into a situation where he's working really hard and really long, and it's difficult to provide what the other person needs. Did you guys have an opportunity to speak about it?
We have talked about it, but it really never went anywhere. It was like we discussed it, and then that was the end of it. And it just went right back to the way it was.
Did you have any solutions? Did you have any specific requests that you made of him to make it easier for you to get the attention that you needed?
I had asked him if, you know, when he came home, like even just a few days after, you know, so that way he had some time to rest, if we could, you know, find a babysitter, you know, just for a few hours, go out, have a nice dinner, go see a movie together. Oh yeah, we'll do something like that, and it never happens.
Mr. Sidor, were you in some way the author of your own hurt? Did you take care of the relationship?
Yes, ma'am. I take my relationship and my family life very serious, but not to the degree to where it's constant in your face, constant hands-on. I'm more of a laid-back approach and talk.
Okay. I get that, Mr. Sidor, but I don't think you understood the question that I asked you. She wanted time and attention, and I'm asking you whether you paid enough time and attention to her. Nothing validates or justifies the fact that she's cheating. I don't want you to think that that's what I'm saying, but I want to ask you if you felt her loneliness and did anything to fill it.
Ma'am, if I'm not showing her enough attention, then it can cause conflict in the home to where she'll either be argumentative with me or or like pick a fight, but she's really just looking for clarity. She loves me and she loves our family, and she would do anything to protect that. And
I'm asking you to look in the mirror. You keep focusing on her. You seem
because I
unable.
love my wife.
I understand that. In order to love someone in a way that they can feel it, you have to be doing something.
ma'am.
And I'm asking you to look at your own behavior, your own actions, and see whether or not you gave her what she was asking for, which was enough attention.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't, and it's something that I have to work on. I do not want a divorce. I need this medium ground right here. I need to be able to get it out to where we can talk about it and be able to find new ways to approach this.
I hear what you're saying, Ms. Cedar. Are you on the same page with him? Do you want to figure out how to make it work? Do you want me to fight in that direction, or are you done?
I'm not done. I love my husband with all my heart, and I deeply regret what I did. And I don't want a divorce, but if we can't reconcile the differences we have, then that's what's going to happen.
Well, let me ask you this, Ms. Cedar. Is he living in that space of where you cheated and can't get past it?
A lot of the time, about 90% of the time, he is.
And how does he express his continued distress over that? Not that it's a small thing. I do not want you to believe that I think it's just like, oh, you need to get over it because you weren't paying attention. I don't believe that. But I see that you both want something together, so I'm trying to figure out how we can get it together.
She'll go off to the excuse that she was intoxicated. You had the man living in my bed for weeks. There's no intoxication under
Was he
living
there
in
for
my bed.
weeks?
He was there for 2 weeks.
You kidding me?
Divorce isn't easy. If you need help with your breakup, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Can you tell me how the specter or the ghost of your infidelity still lives with you in your union today?
Anytime that me and my husband are in a disagreement about anything, it could be the simplest things about what the girls are going to wear to school, or it could be something major, and he'll throw it in my face, well, if you wouldn't have cheated on me, we wouldn't be arguing about this right now. And I'm just, I don't know what to do with it anymore.
Let me define some parameters here, first of all. How big of a cheat was it? Was it a one-time thing with one guy? Were you traveling around a bit, or did you have an affair with somebody? How big of a bad was it?
It was one gentleman, and we had met at a department store, and it started out as something innocent, asking about clothes, and then he asked me if I was on a certain social media group, which I said I was, so we exchanged names and became friends. And then I invited him over just to hang out, and it led into something more, which should have never happened.
But it was a one-time thing, or was it an ongoing affair?
It was a one-time thing.
Do you believe that?
No. No,
And
Your
tell
Honor.
me why you don't believe that.
For the simple fact is my wife does not drink, and my wife throws it in my face that she was drunk when that happened. My wife don't drink, so that means it was a planned activity with somebody that shouldn't even been in the house to begin with.
Oh, absolutely. I'm right with you on that, with Cedar. Drunk, not drunk, whatever. My question is, do you believe?
Now I think that every time that she wants to cheat on me, all she has to do is use an excuse that she was drunk. And I'm not going to tolerate that, and I won't allow it. I would rather get a divorce than go through that again.
And I get that, but I'm trying to just figure out this one piece. Do you believe her when she tells you it was just that one time, or do you think she's cheated on you more often than that?
I think she's done it more than once.
And why do you think she's done it more than
There's
once?
just too, when you start adding the coincidences up, I'm not a big, I
So
believe
what
that
things has she done that you have found suspect?
we was in Florida, and a man asked her to help her fix his computer. And then when they walked into another room, I heard her whisper the words. I don't want to say it on TV right now.
Can you give me a euphemism for it? Can you?
What the are we doing?
Did that occur?
What he didn't hear was the whole sentence. I am a
I'm trying to figure out why a man brought you in his room to begin with.
Hang on, Mr.
I
Mr.
have
Cedar.
a computer background.
We both have that background.
And
Mr. Cedar?
Sorry.
He had asked me because his computer was completely messed up, and he asked me what if I could fix it. And I
Mr.
never...
Cedar, were you in the next room?
I was in the next room.
Do you really think that she would have engaged in illicit activity right in the next room when you saw her go in the next room?
I don't see it as her downfall. I see it as that gentleman's downfall.
But you can't blame her for that.
No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
But you kind of are, because you listed that activity as the evidence of further cheating on her part. You say, here's the evidence of her infidelity. When we talk about it, you say, I think it was just this gentleman being inappropriate, and it really isn't evidence of her infidelity. You got to be clear on what basket of thoughts you're putting each particular incident in.
Yes, ma'am.
So that doesn't go in she's an unfaithful basket. It goes in he might be a tacky dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would go into a room with a guy if I needed my computer fixed and I don't know how, and we would talk about the computer. To me, that's not suspect. Do you have another story for me that would lead me to that suspicion?
Just from when I came back from the job, and my 6-year-old told me that another man has been in the house and he'd been there for...
Was this that time that you admit that cheating on him?
It is.
Okay.
And she'll go off to the excuse that she was intoxicated. You had the man living in my bed for weeks. There's no intoxication under living in my bed. Was he there for weeks?
He was there for 2 weeks.
You kidding me?
You were shagging up with this cat for 2 weeks in his bed.
Actually, it's my bed.
It's the bed you share with him, no?
No, actually, he sleeps on the couch.
If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Now, Mrs. Cedar, to me, that's an ongoing affair and not a one-time thing. You were shagging up with this cat for 2 weeks in his bed, correct?
Actually, it's my bed.
Well, it's the bed you share with him, no?
No, actually, he sleeps on the couch.
How long's that been going on?
For quite a while. He would rather sleep downstairs than sleep upstairs with me.
But that's since the cheat, though, right?
No, that was even before that.
From that moment on, it became a whole new game plan, but I wouldn't accuse her of it until I found...
And that's a lie. You've accused me of it many times.
Well,
knowing it wasn't true, and my daughter was standing right there with us.
Well, when the 6-year-old comes and tells me that a man's been in the house talking about he don't kiss, he hugs...
I'm talking before that. I'm talking about the incidents you're trying to accuse me of in Florida when it didn't happen, and I've told you and told you and told you it didn't happen.
All right, well, now I believe it.
No,
so
you don't.
I don't think you would get that involved in something that was made up, but I know what you've done, so...
So, Mr. Cedar, here's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out a way to get you both what you want. And in order to get you both what you want, I have to have you both agree on what occurred, because we got to decide what we're going to forgive one another for.
See, we ain't got no choice. In order for this to be able to work, we have to move past that. And I'm willing to move past it, or I wouldn't even be with her right now.
But what I'm trying to get you to focus on is we've got to decide how much you're going to forgive her for. Because if you have suspicions beyond that one horrendous act, we've got to find it, we got to cut it, we got to put it on the table, and we got to make a decision about all of that right now.
Yes, ma'am.
So, beyond that, do you believe that she has cheated on you?
Since then, no, ma'am.
Since then?
No, ma'am.
Do you believe before then she was suspect?
No, ma'am, not now.
Other than the computer thing, because the computer thing, that doesn't hold water.
Here's the incident where I can validate some of the stuff that went on. This was back in November when she had another man living in my home. See, I have a couple games on her phone. Well, I picked up her phone and I started about to play a game, and I saw a message thing. And I scrolled down on it, and I saw that she's been texting the same man that she had in my bed.
Mrs. Cedar, is that true?
Still contact with him.
He had sent me a message telling me that he had moved to another state. That's what he saw.
But his message wouldn't come up on the history. It'd be yours.
Because I checked my messages. Who wouldn't open their social media page and they had a message? Who wouldn't answer it? Who wouldn't open it and see what it is?
Is that what did the message say? I'm out of state?
It didn't say exactly what the message was, but I saw his name looked up. Right. So she actually typed his name in order to be able to show that name on that device. So all that, he messaged me type stuff, I ain't buying that at all.
Because he don't buy anything.
No, you
could sit there and tell him that you could give him the moon and stuff, and he still wouldn't buy it. I mean, even when we first got together, I got promises upon promises about what he was going to do, how he was going to take care of our family, and they've all fallen through.
Yeah.
So
But he's working hard for
Yeah.
your family. Don't you know? How are
8-hour
you gonna be
shift.
mad about that? You say he made
Kidding me?
promises about what he's gonna do for the family. Man's busting his behind out there doing that work. You thank him by sleeping with somebody else in his bed while he's out there working, and then you're gonna come back and
Well,
tell
what
you.
was I supposed to do? My husband wasn't even giving me the own attention that a husband should have. I hadn't had it for years. I'm talking about years since we got pregnant with my youngest daughter. I had not got any attention from him. Not one comment saying you're beautiful, that I love you, or anything like that. I'd have to initiate saying, honey, how does my hair look? Should I wear it up? Should I wear it down? Does this outfit look okay? I'd have to ask him,
I got
do
it.
you like this?
I got it. I got it. There's always a whole lot going on in divorce court that people want to talk about. If you have something you want to say, join us on Twitter @Divorce Court, or jump on our Facebook page and see what everybody's talking about on there. Sometimes you people get heated. Don't miss it. Mr. Cedar, I think you really love her.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that you want to be with her.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you want to forgive her and trust her.
Yes, ma'am.
But I don't think you know how. Would you agree?
No. Actually, I think I do, because if I didn't know how, I wouldn't be with her right now. I think
Let me tell you where I think you've missed the boat.
I think I'm a captain.
I think you need to hush your mouth and let her speak.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Cedar, let me tell you where I think you've missed the boat. She's still empty. She feels alone.
So what, she gets that by
Mr.
cheating?
Cedar, you
Will you
cannot.
hush your mouth?
Mr. Cedar, I'm trying to help. You know, if it were me and my man had a woman in my bed for 2 weeks,
So-
I'd have left.
Yeah.
Now, you say that's not what you want.
No.
So I'm trying to get you what you want. I'm not discussing, I am not judging your decision to stay. What I'm trying to do is get you happy and with your wife, because that's what you want. But you won't listen. Now, will you listen?
Yes, ma'am.
Your wife is broken. Until you can give her what she needs, which is that you're beautiful, I love you, I need time, dating, all of these things, you two will never be happy together.
Yeah.
And that's what she wants. You have to make sure that you've truly forgiven her for what she's done and come to a point where you're at a state of grace.
But
about
what
it.
causes that? Me to be unscrupulous in my ideas and plans and just start
No,
lowering
it's
myself
what
to
causes
just...
you to actually love your wife and show her attention
Oh,
instead
Mr.
of
Cedar,
standing there
Mr.
and
Cedar,
looking at her,
Mr.
telling her what all is wrong with her. I'm sorry I'm not some skinny supermodel. I've had 3 kids.
Mr.
My
Cedar,
weight should not bother you. You should love me for who I am and not try to change who I am. I am your wife, not some person you can stuff in your house. I have feelings. I have emotions. You should love me for who I am and not what you want me to be.
Mr. Cedar, come here. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I can't help you. You need somebody to help you with your thought processes and how you manage information, input information. Because to get what you want, you have to do something new, and you can't seem to get to a place where you're able to do something new because you keep justifying what you've already done.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
what you've already done hasn't gotten you what you wanted. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
You have to either decide you're going to forgive her or not. And you can make that decision.
I forgave her when it happened.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you're still
But
angry about it.
Here's to the limit, though.
He says he forgave me.
I mean, they have asked me to leave this bench an hour ago. So I'm gonna send you somewhere to get you some help, but I'm trying to get you what you want. And to get what you want, you have to think differently because you don't have it now.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I'm gonna try to convince you
Yes,
of.
ma'am.
All right? This matter is adjourned. If you're not getting what you want, you have to change what you do. What I couldn't get Will to see is that he wanted his wife, but he also wanted not to forgive her at the same time. He had good reasons not to forgive her, but those reasons weren't going to get him what he wanted.